beautiful. This is where they start the Melbourne Cup from. It's 2 miles. The only difference is they jump 13 hurdles. They're all ready to go. We'll wait for the light to flash. It's on the right-hand side of the starting gates. We'll soon get them. There's the view, the 3,200-metre sign, and they're off and racing in the first race on Melbourne Cup Day. In control, got out okay, so did the grey Gun to Win. Believable's wearing the white cap to distinguish the colours from the stablemate Gun to Win as they approach the first one. And Dvorak was the first horse over the fence. He's a length and a half clear. The grey Gun to Win, second, Century Prince out wider, then Dr. Salmon in control. Swedish Wonder, one of the South Australian horses. One almost lost the rider, and that was Sir Rhythmic, and he goes back to last. They run into the course proper. Down the straight the first time, and Dvorak in front. One of the bolters, a length and a half clear. Gun to Win, Dr. Sam third. Then Century Prince on the outside of the Colin Hayes trained in control. Cobbler Boy out 3 deep. Getting up on the inside, Swedish Wonder, followed by Little Dav. Believable wide. 2 to Orchestra Man, Being Bold, Sir Rhythmic, and last of all was Peckham Guess. He ran in last year's Melbourne Cup, and he's last of all in the Cup hurdle as they jump the third fence down the straight. One more to go on the straight, and they'll have a bit over a lap left to go, and Dvorak in front. Dvorak bowling along in front, leads by 3 lengths. Second placing taken by Gun to Win. A length and a half away. Third was Dr. Sam. Then Century Prince on the inside. Going up at his outside was Little Dav. 2.5 lengths to Swedish Wonder. Then Cobbler Boy in control the inside of Believable. 2 to Orchestra Man, 2 to Being Bold. Sir Rhythmic second last, and last of all was Peckham Guess, and it's 20 lengths off the lead. Along the Maribyrnong side of the track on the Cup Day hurdle, and the leader is Dvorak. Leads by 3 lengths. Gun to Win second on the top weight. Dr. Sam goes up on the outside. He's 11 years of age, Dr. Sam. He's from New Zealand. He's second now. 4 lengths away in fourth placing Century Prince. Then Little Dav followed by Cobbler Boy. On the inside, Swedish Wonder. 2.5 lengths to Win Control, and they've broken up. 2.5 back to Believable. A length and a half to Orchestra Man. 5 to Being Bold. Then Sir Rhythmic and Peckham Guess. As they go over the next one, and Swedish Wonder has lost the rider, and the rider's been tossed right underneath the running rail. Lucky to get away with that. And as they go towards the 1,400 metres point, Swedish Wonder out of the race. Dvorak in front. He's 2.5 lengths clear, but they're starting to close the gap, and Dr. Sam the top. He's travelling well. 2.5 lengths away, third, Gun to Win. It's the grey, just got his head in front of Century Prince, the rails in the red colours. A length and a half away, Little Dav, and going up on the outside, Believable. Then in control, they're starting to bunch up. So Rhythmic on the outside of Cobbler Boy. Then Orchestra Man getting going around the outside, about 12 lengths away to the riderless Swedish Wonder. And a long break in the field, then to Being Bold, followed by Sir Rhythmic and Peckham Guess, last of all, 100 metres off the lead. They've got about 1,000 metres left to go. And Dr. Sam has taken the lead. The top weight drew a length clear. Dvorak under pressure. Orchestra Man's coming to it quickly. The leader jumped okay. Orchestra Man gets to second, Dvorak third. Then Gun to Win, followed by Century Prince on the inside. 2 to the stablemate behind those, then a Gun to Win, Believable, followed by Little Dav, a break to Win Control. Well back, Cobbler Boy. They're the only chances. 10 lengths covers them. Running up to the turn, 600 metres to go. Dr. Sam in front, travelling well, a length clear. Orchestra Man in second placing. In control, very wide, starting to wind up. Then came Century Prince, followed by Gun to Win. Behind those, Believable. Then Little Dav, Dvorak gone. A break, then a Cobbler Boy, followed by the riderless Swedish Wonder, Being Bold, Peckham Guess, and Sir Rhythmic. Dr. Sam in front. He gets over the second last, a length and a half clear. In second placing and battling on Orchestra Man. Then in control, followed by Gun to Win. Dr. Sam, an 11-year-old, comes down to the last one. He hopped over it. He's 3 clear. Orchestra Man second, 4 lengths to Win Control, getting the third. The top in front, Dr. Sam, he's drawing away, and he's got the Cup Day hurdle one. Dr. Sam 3 or 4 clear of Orchestra Man and in control, and the favourite wins the first. Dr. Sam by 4 lengths. Orchestra Man second, third in control, then Gun to Win, Little Dav. Believable next, and then Peckham Guess, followed by Cobbler Boy. Dvorak next home from Being Bold. Sir Rhythmic has run last. There's one horse that's come down at the last fence. Of course, Swedish Wonder fell at about the halfway point, and Century Prince may have broken down. It was one of the favourites in the race, and unfortunately this horse, trained by Lee Friedman, looks quite sore after getting towards the second last fence at the top of the straight. Dr. Sam first, Orchestra Man second, in control third, 165.
What happened? And for 50 cents, Dr. Sam in Victoria has paid $3.80 and $1.25. Orchestra Man $1.85, In Control $1.65, the Quinella $25.50, and the Trifecta $474.80. 165, correct weight after the first, Dr. Sam $3.80, a good return for the heavily backed horse. Rising, who ran very well on Saturday, is 260. Arc Regal 355. Wolvergrey 1375. Deferred Income 815. Ikram, who's currently at Talak colours at 345. Caravar at 2965. Remedy Scratch Bajilo 1665. Tango Master 2455. Dry Matches $54. Racy Red $40.65. Love and Laughter $1.15. Its favourite to be ridden by Greg Hall. Stiletto Way Scratch, Always Diamond $18.20, and Sister Canny at $7.20. The favourite, Love and Laughter.
Very special. He holds the record for riding the greatest number of Cup winners. An incredible 4 wins. The jockey is Mr. Harry White. He shared the record with the late Bobby Lewis. Bobby had 4 wins between 1902 and 1927, but today on Balciano, Harry White has the chance of making Cup history books by winning his 5th Melbourne Cup.
Where's the Sequester is the leader. Battle Heights has worked its way up into the picture very quickly, and they're followed closely on the outside.
Harry is recognised as the master tactician of the distance ride. In 1974, White made his mark on the Cup when he timed his move on Think Big to perfection.
Battle Heights went to the front of the 200-metre mark from Leilani. Captain Perry on the outside then is Surf Cutter and Think Big. Leilani is getting to Battle Heights, and on the outside Captain Perry. Leilani just in front. Think Big is picking it up down the outside, and Think Big has got up to win the Cup. Think Big has won.
The Think Big Harry White combination were back for the 75 Cup and winning again, making it 2 in a row.
But Captain Perry's running on well, but Think Big is in front, and Think Big's going to win it 2 years in succession.
Today, 13 years later, the association between horse and jockey continues.
I didn't buy Think Big. He was given to me by the owner, and all I wanted to do was repay him and give him a good life for the rest of his life, for helping me buy the farm. The farm I'm going to call Think Big after him. Come on, mate. Here.
Harry is the proud owner of a 600-acre farm just outside of Melbourne, a property he enjoys working on. It's here he spends his time with his 2 sons, his daughter and his wife Loris, working as a farmer and a family man. But as a champion jockey, Harry has few equals, and his record speaks for itself. Harry has already had an incredible 25,000 professional rides and ridden an impressive 1,700 victories, including his 4 Melbourne Cup successes. So, what's his secret?
I'll tell you something, I've never stopped learning. I've never stopped learning from the day I sat on a racehorse. I've never stopped learning, and I don't think you ever do. And I don't think there's a time when you can say, well, he's got to his peak, he can only go downhill from here on in. I don't believe in that. I think a jockey should know when it's time to retire. And as far as I'm concerned, I just feel like I'm just about, somewhere in the middle of my life as a jockey. Just reaching my peak, you might say.
At the peak of his career, he may well be. And at 44 years of age, and after 30 years as a jockey, Harry has an attitude to life many of us admire.
I'm enjoying racing now as more than I ever did. I'm enjoying it more. I don't really think it's because I'm more relaxed approach about it. And I think that goes through to the animals that you're riding, and they perform well for you. And I think if anybody's happy in life, I've got the farm here and I'm happy up here. I go back to work, I'm happy there, so Happy Harry, they'll call me.
Think Big gave Harry White his first 2 Cup winners. His 3rd came in 78 on R1. But it was the next year that Harry was at his absolute best, duelling up the famous Flemington Straight with Roy Higgins, winning his 4th Cup on Hyperno. And today, Harry White has the chance to rewrite the history books.
Now I've won 4 Melbourne Cups. It just keeps getting better and better, and I would love to get this record that I now hold equal with Bobby Lewis, you know. That would be that's what I'm striving for at the moment, to try and get the 5th Cup, Melbourne Cup.
Happy Harry White, 44 years of age, but Gibbo, there's a couple of other jockeys here today that are a little bit older than Harry that have also shared the pleasure of winning a Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, there's the parade right now, and what a great promotion this is by the VRC today here at Flemington on Cup Day. Some of these great jockeys who've been so successful over the years in Melbourne Cups. This is the...
Downing away and Bo Road will break away well. We will turn and it's close to the front. Then Black Charles will shake you out of the bit. 5 out of 5 with this Sonny Lappy. He's running out on his line there, breaking. He's still with them. Here the fence under pressure, Sir Ford cruises up. Into the now they go up towards the south and top that on the side. On the turn to Sonny Lappy, runs up on the
Race 2 on Melbourne Cup Day. Beautiful weather. Track fast. Here's the light. Racing. Love and Laughter jumped out pretty well, and so too did Our Western Music towards the inside, and Thompson hunting her across towards the lead. Deferred Income jumped well, so too did Dark Regal. Always Diamonds going quickly. Then Cara Ver back behind those Racy Red. Love and Laughter's up racing about 5th or 6th, but only a couple of lengths off the lead. Ikram was out wider. Back in the field was Dry Matches as they go over the crossing. They've got about 600 to go. Deferred Income hugging the inside, running well, just led Cara Ver. Our Western Music a length back on the inside. Arc Regal about 4 off the fence. They were followed by Tango Master. Behind those was Ikram. Paul gets Love and Laughter to the outside, and she's starting to wind up from Sister Canny. And further back then as they run down towards the 400, Volva Grey and Beigilla. It's Arc Regal on the inside in front of Tango Master. Love and Laughter on the outside under the whip. Our Western Music gets off the fence. Here's Love and Laughter on the outside as she comes after Arc Regal. Arc Regal a length in front. Love and Laughter finishing hard on the outside. Arc Regal hanging on. It's a neck clear, and Arc Regal wins. Arc Regal drifted away from the fence near the post, but wanted a neck. Love and Laughter second. Sister Kenny ran on well for third. Then Our Western Music followed by Tango Master, Wolver Grey, Beigilla, Always Diamonds, Ikram, Cara Ver, Deferred Income, second last Racy Red, and the last one to finish was Dry Matches.
Well, when you're hot, and that's Michael Barlow there. He won one on Saturday. He's won another one here. Arc Regal had put the writing on the wall with a very good run at Moonee Valley last week to Appleby Fair. The head-on shot. Getting away from the fence a bit. Might have, there was definitely bumping there.
Well, we'll soon see what happens when they return to scale, but Gabe Waterhouse is back in the mounting out as we have a quick check of the Divvies.
Victoria, Arc Regal 345 and 95, Love and Laughter 55, Sister Kenny 160, Quinella $4, Running Double 30.20, Trifecta 83.95. I'm not supposed to say this, but if you backed Arc Regal, I think you've got a very good chance of collecting that 345. So
One win, I guess, the more chance, it's always the same, that the one that fires in the protest will in fact get it.
yeah, Greg must have been very persuasive in the stewards' room. They've had a good look at the video and the head-on, and there was certainly interference, but It was a bit of a surprise, but as you say, the longer it went on, the more chance that horse Love and Laughter had of winning, and the favourites won the second.
That's right, the favourite has won the second, and as soon as we can, we'll bring you those Victorian TAB dividends as they are revised now on race 2, where the winner is Love and Laughter. Ark Regal now finishing second. Well, about 15 minutes to post time for the third race here at Flemington this afternoon. The Melbourne Cup, of course, race 5. There's still plenty of time to put a bet on the Cup. Here's Keith Hillier to tell you how.
Hello, punters. I'm Slim Whittle.
I'm Con Marasco.
And I'm Dr. Turf. And welcome to Network 10's coverage of the Punter to Punter Phantom Melbourne Cup. Yes, Slim and the Foster's horses are locked away now in the Foster's starting stalls for the running of the Foster's Melbourne Cup, run on this famous first Foster's Tuesday of Foster's November.
You don't think sponsorship's ruining racing, do you, Dr. Turf?
Oh, don't Foster's think so, Foster's Con. Racing now.
I knew that.
Just about set.
Where are they? Hang on, I'm not ready.
Off now, and Carl Lewis has jumped well, and Connor's missed the start completely.
Where are they? Where are they?
It's a charge for the lead. Ben Hur does well to stay in the saddle.
Oh, and there they are, and that's the first time I've seen them for my mind. So it's one out in front, followed by another one. There's one after that. How do you know which one's which?
By the colours, Con.
Oh, thank you. So it's a brown one out in front, followed by a black one, followed by another brown one. There's some more black ones. There's another brown one, and there's a grey one. Thank goodness for that.
But here comes a much better caller now as Bo Rogue bullocks his way to the lead. What's Bo Rogue doing in the Cup? Oh, well, he's a great personality. It's Bo Rogue going like the wind out in front. But as the rain starts falling and Bo Rogue is floundering, he's an absolute duffer in the wet. He's gone.
But Duncan Armstrong likes the wet. Look at him go.
He's joined in front now by the Alaskan Whales. So it's Siku, Putu and Russ Hinge making a line of 3. So as they run down the Maribyrnong side.
Oh, my God, there's a car on the track. Look, Slim, there's a car on the track. And there's a truck on the track. And look, there's some traffic lights. Oh, my God, this is an absolute disgrace.
Con, that is Ballarat Road. The track is down there. Then comes Congressman Natsky, it's Candide Chantaroon, and if we could just get rid of a few of these horses, it'd make it a lot easier to call. Yes, Slim, so as they approach the surprise hurdle, they haven't seen it yet, and bang! Oh, half the field's come down! Oh, they're all over the place, Slim! The giant mare, Fergie, stumbles, but she's okay.
Oh, Fowles hit the lead now. Oh, but he crumbles under his big weight.
And as they come around the home turn now, and George Bush joins in, it's Bush!
Chicagis.
Bush!
Chicagis.
Chicagis!
Bush.
It's the Pope! The Pope is headed for home! But here comes Ben Johnson all over the top of them. Ben Johnson's won the Melbourne Cup. We're just waiting while they test his urine sample. It's positive, so Ben Johnson's disqualified. The Cup is still up for grabs. And as they pass the clock tower, it's a 2:45. So it's a polo run. He's got the Cup all parcelled up. But no sooner does he speak than Dr. Turf's #1 selection, Empire Rose, hits the front.
Banderole is flying. He might get up and beat them all.
Apollo Run fights back. But Empire Rose is still clearly in front.
Banderole's trying hard.
Debbie Flintoff King lunges at the line. But as they pass the post, it's Empire Rose. Apollo Run has hung in for second.
Banderole has run last. Oh, no, wait a minute, there's another one there. What's white for the Red Cross, Dr. Turf?
That's the ambulance, Con.
Oh, and the ambulance has run a bad last.
In the Punter to Punter Phantom Melbourne Cup of 1988.
Con, Slim Whittle and Dr. Turf from Punter to Punter. Bill go in, Bob Mormel, very quickly because we've got 2 left to go in for the sweat.
First up, 16 starts, 3 wins, 4 minor placings. And he's a grey, but there are a couple of greys in the race, wearing blue and pink colours. Archer Victory is lined up, so they're ready to go for the Schweppes 1200. Light will flash on the right-hand side of the starting gates. There it is, and they're off and racing. Now, Thornbrook got away fairly well. Panui Prince jumped out pretty quickly. It's showing early toe. They're going straight across to the grandstand side of the track. There's only 2 of them, and their judges rule an Archer Victory. They've completed 150 metres, and Lonely Dreamer sharing the lead on the flat side of the track with Norgren Hunter. Stimulus was up there, and they were followed by Noble Bear, Panui Prince. Over on the outside, next was Latin Rhythm, followed by Thornbrook out wide. Gorilla buried back in the field. Grandiose is getting a little way back behind those, and they were followed as they run over the crossing by Uncle Sid. Dorian Bars is a mile back with Marwong and Moonlight Bandit, and down the grandstand side it's just Archer Victory and Judges Rule. 500 to go, and Lonely Dreamer kicked away 2.5 to Noble Bear, and they're about 3 lengths in front of Stimulus, Norgren Hunter, followed by Panui Prince. Thornbrook not doing enough, and they were followed by Uncle Sid. Grandiose gets into the clear, then Marwong, Down the outside, Judges Rule about 2.5 lengths in front of Archer Victory. On the flat side of the track, though, Grandiose has moved up to take the lead from Noble Bear. Lonely Dreamer running on hard was Marwong. Judges Rule not in it, but Grandiose burst to the front. Marwong running on hard might get to second, but Grandiose is going to win. Grandiose about 2.5 to Marwong. Third placing Stimulus, and then came Uncle Sid, which ran on well. Noble Bear next from Lonely Dreamer. They were followed in by Moonlight Bandit, Jerdor. Further back, Panui Prince, followed by Gorilla, Amboise, Norgwin Hunter. They were followed in behind them by Judges Rule, Latin Rhythm, and Archer Victory. And Thornbrook, believe it or not, has run absolute last.
Well, the big money went down the drain there with Thornbrook, but one of the fancied one, Grandiose, who actually sort of did a bit of a special in that race. On Saturday, special was Blinker's second time, and Grandiose today was Blinker's second time. Grandiose put paid to them. The only two horses came down the outside, were noticeably a long way behind when they come across the crossing at about the 700-metre mark, and it was left to just Archer Victory to stay out here, and Judges Rule drifted towards the centre. But there's the winner, running about fourth now, but the horses on the inside are clearly ahead of the outside too. Judges Rule's on the outside and going back a bit as Archer Victory, but there's Grandiose going on to an easy win.
Des, it was noticeable they went very quickly early. They broke 110 for the 1200, and it set up the race for a horse like Grandiose. And look at Marwong, the horse who's won over 2,000 metres. He was really motoring home at the end of that 6 furlongs.
Yes, he got home and beat past Stimulus right near the line. Grandiose loves the straight six. He'd already won a couple, or this is maybe his fourth run, I think, down the straight. But he was prepared for this race, and it was just a very good victory, and ridden by
Michael Clark, who's really riding in, I don't think, any better style. The last 10 days have been great for Michael. A double on Saturday, the Werribee Cup last Wednesday, and he starts off in the third race on Melbourne Cup Day with a winner on the stable horse Grandiose. Victorian T 70 cents. Marwong, second, paid $2.50, and third, number 5, Stimulus, and its return $1.15. 190 and 70. Marwong $2.50, Stimulus third $1.15. The Quinella was $16.65. The trifecta $154.65, and the race-to-race double was a little over $15. Love and Laughter in the previous 105 and 55. Ark Regal 95, Sister Kenny 160.
Well, when I was a kid in Sydney, a lot of fellas I know used to want to be race callers. They all wanted to be like Ken Howard. In Melbourne, a lot of young fellas always wanted to be like Bill Collins. They thought he was so smooth and suave, and so did I. Bill, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing very well, Mike, thanks.
1954, your first Melbourne Cup.
Yeah.
Last year, your last one.
Yes.
Did you sleep any different last night?
Yes, I did. I didn't have a worry in my mind. For 34 years now, not only Melbourne Cup Eves, but Friday nights, you know, I've gone to bed with about 8:30, 9 o'clock every pre-race night, taken up a Mogadon or something, you know, and made sure I've got 4 or 5 hours sleep. Melbourne Cup nights, you always have nightmares about missing the start or missing the horse's name or something, but last night just slept right through.
Let's take you back 28 years. The year's 1960, and the horse to keep an eye on is High Jinks, ridden by Billy Smith, your caller, Bill Collins.
Wider out is Housey. A look starting to thread its way through the field, and further back in the field is Tulloch. At the furlong post now, anybody's race. Dorlagheri's got to the front in the cup from Valerius. High Jinks, Manchu, Rose of Summer. And here's a look coming home very fast. Dorlagheri stopping a look, going for the rails run on the outside. High Jinks has got his head in front with Housey. A look flashing home, but High Jinks has won the cup. A half head to Housey, a half head.
Tough one to call, Bill?
Yes, it was. That was the Centenary Cup, of course, and they came from everywhere in the straight, and High Jinks, it was a New Zealand affair, that one, with High Jinks scoring very narrowly.
Like a real champ, you got out on top.
Oh, yeah.
You can keep calling races as long as you want, but when do you know when it's time to go?
Oh, your reflexes just become a little bit slower, Mike, and you think, well, goodness gracious me, this time next year they're probably going to be, they're not going to improve, they're going to get a little bit slower. It takes you that fraction longer to transfer from seeing a colour to a horse's name and then spitting it out. And I thought there's a lot of promising young boys about. 34 years, I've had a good run. It's time to give them a chance.
When you're watching the Cup this afternoon, will you start mouthing that call? If we had a camera on you up there, will the lips start moving?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I had my first Caulfield Cup after 34 years of calling it, and I watched it last month down at the start. And I didn't call them, but Impazir and Congressman went over the line, locked together, and I was down at the 300-metre mark, and somebody turned around and said, which one won it? And I said, I'm on a bad angle, you know. Had to give it away.
You don't have to anymore.
No, I don't have to worry, but I'm seeing racing from a different angle now. You know, I've never been down in the bird cage on Melbourne Cup Day or amongst the crowd. I've always been up there in the box, and it's a different sight. It's interesting. I'm enjoying it.
All right, Bill, you're a credit to the profession of race calling. I know you're still with Channel 7. Nice to be with you this afternoon on Channel 10.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you, the one and only Bill Collins. Now let's take a look at what some of the fellas are wearing here this afternoon. And good afternoon to you and welcome to regional stations right around Australia. Joining us now for the telecast of the 1988 Melbourne Cup from Flemington. Well, in about 67 minutes from now, from Broome to Byron Bay in offices and factories all over the country, most of us will stop to watch the greatest race on Australia's sports calendar. And right now, halfway between Townsville and Mount Isa, in a shire covering 12,000 square miles, is the town of Richmond. And Paul Hogan's son, Brett Hogan, is out there. Brett, good afternoon.
Oh, g'day, Mike. How are you, mate? Thanks for the wonderful introduction. Well, we're in Richmond, as you told everybody where it is, but you didn't mention Whoop Whoop's about 10 minutes that way. Right now, you're having a look at the general area around here. I can't see it, but it's dry and it's hot, and they race on a dirt track, which I'm told is quicker than the turf, except when it rains. We're going to talk to a couple of gentlemen over here who are the leading racing figures in the area, Mr. and Mr. Forster. They're two brothers, and between them they seem to hold down most of the administrative jobs there are in the area. How do you do? This is Bob and John.
How do you do?
How long has your family actually been involved in racing? Over 100 years, is that right?
Yeah, they started here before the turn of the century. This was the Richmond Jockey Club.
Yeah. And your actual position here?
Vince already.
I'm the president of the Richmond Amateur Race Club, but I'm also on the control board of racing in the Northwest for the North Queensland Racing Association.
And the two of you breed horses and run them as well?
Yes, I still breed a lot of horses and race horses. And so far we've been very successful racing against horses that are imported from the south.
Yeah, and with both of you running the show and breeding most of the horses, doesn't that sort of become a conflict of interests?
Oh no, we've got stewards here to make sure that everything's fair play. There's no conflict of interest. Everybody can race a horse.
Yeah. So it's sort of a family day. I can see it's a big gathering here. I don't know if you can see that, but we get the bookies come down from Mount Isa and Charlieville and all over town. This is the biggest racing meeting of the year, yeah?
That's correct. It's one of our major meetings for this year, mainly due because of the sponsorship of Foster's coming in for this particular event today.
Yeah, I've seen they've got a couple of lovely young ladies here. That's caused quite a stir in town. We don't often get women in tight, short dresses with blonde hair and blue eyes. Well, we'll be seeing you later on. Thanks for talking to us. And I'm sorry I haven't heard a word you've said out here, but we're having a good time anyway.
I'm sure you are, Brett, and we leave you there at Richmond in Queensland. Of course, right around Australia, there's country meetings today. There are people all over the country, either at the TAB, maybe ringing up their bookie to have a bet. They're having a bet on the 1988 Melbourne Cup. A good mate of mine had a bit of a turn today, Bobby Smith. He loves a bet. I hope you're feeling better, Bobby. I know that they're feeling pretty good right now on the harbour at Sydney at the Kirribilli RSL, where we cross to Mr. Vince Sorrenti.
How do you do? And it seems like it's a nicer day in Melbourne than it is here. Melbourne, beautiful one day, forget the rest, has got it all over Sydney today. It's a bit gloomy here at the Kirribilli Ex-Servicemen's Club on a beautiful Foster's Tuesday in Foster's November. I got up at Foster's 20 past 8, went to the toilet at Foster's 30 past 8, had a Foster's milkshake, and here we are at the Ex-Servicemen's. Beautifully decorated in the Al Grasby style, and this carpet, in fact, is from the Al Grasby collection. And we'll be seeing you later on at a live cross here where people are whooping it up. See you later.
Okay, we leave Vince Sorrenti there at the Kirribilli RSL on gorgeous Sydney Harbour. I know the boys there don't mind a bet either, and they'll be watching, as I said, along with about 50 million other people, not just here in Australia, but all over the place. Up in Hong Kong, we'll be crossing up there very shortly too to talk to them on Melbourne Cup Day. Look at 3:35, Cameronic 9:65, Lockley's Tradition 16:10, Potter McQueen 8:45, Stable Gossip 2:65, Prismatic Star 2:70, Northern Copy 6.